Good afternoon, my spiritual warriors. Happy Tuesday. I hope that each and every one of you and your loved ones are safe, first and foremost, considering the circumstances and the restrictions that have been placed upon us. I'm here today, this afternoon, to share with you another message from Spirit. Regardless of the whole coronavirus issue, we still have real lives, we still have real issues, we still have things that we have to confront, we still have things that we need to take care of. Especially now, since we've been given this or been forced, not all of us, many of us have been forced to stay home, right? Again, this video that I did Sunday, Spirit talked about the need to be able to take advantage of this time to handle things that we should not continue to ignore. So in that same feeling, in the same wave, Spirit talks to me about secrets. And then I'm like, what is Spirit trying to tell me about secrets? Everyone in some sort of way have secrets, right? We all have secrets. I don't care who the hell you are. People that tell you they don't have secrets, bullshit. Everybody has a secret. But not everyone has the same degree of secret. That makes a difference, right? There might be things that are very personal to you and you don't want the world to know, and you want to keep it to yourself because number one, it's not everybody's business and what have you. But then there are those kinds of secrets that are very damaging to one's inner spirit, to one's blessings, to one's prosperity. So after doing readings for so many years, I come to the conclusion that there are secrets that can haunt you in a way, and aside from it haunting you in your inner spirit, it blocks your blessings. There are secrets that blocks our blessings. And I don't want to pick on anybody, so don't kill the messenger. I only am a vessel that tries to the best of my human abilities to deliver messages that comes through me from Spirit. So here it goes. Secrets blocks blessings. Isn't it interesting how many of us do the right things or believe to be doing the right things, and we work hard and we sacrifice a lot, and then yet we don't see the results, we don't see the full rewards of the investment that we're bringing to the table. And it dawns on me, this message today goes to parents, specifically moms, not because fathers are exempt, because they're not. And there's another part to this message will illustrate that. But this message tonight, this afternoon, speaks about mothers who hold major, big, hard secrets from their children with regards to their fathers. Number one, Spirit is asking me to share with some mothers out there today that, to bring out your secrets to the light. Take advantage of this quarantine life to bring out secrets to the light that have been blocking your blessings and are hurting your children. Like, for example, mothers that refuse to tell their children, whether they're young children or older children, already adults, they refuse to tell their children who their father is. There are many parents, believe it or not, it may sound odd to you, but trust me, not for me, it's not odd, because I've read for too many people over the years. There are mothers out there that refuse to tell their child who their father is. And that to me is not just a secret, but it's a damaging secret. First and foremost, in order for us to really know who we are, we have the right to know who we come from. And little do some mothers know or accept the notion that there's a child, there's a teenager, there's an adult that has been suffering internally because you refuse to tell them who their father really is. Or you've been someone that have made them believe, which is number two, but I'm going to put it in there right now, have made them believe that someone else is their father when in reality is not. Everything in our life is vibration. Everything in our life is energy. Can you not see that the fact that your child, whether they're a teenager or whether they're an adult, cannot ground in their own life because they feel that they don't have the whole piece of the puzzle. They don't have the whole pie. They don't have all the pieces to the puzzle together. There's something within themselves that's missing, and it's that vital information, that piece of information that's so sacred and so important to their inner spirit, to their soul. So Spirit says, we can keep secrets from people. We can keep secrets from our family members, from our loved ones, from our children, but you cannot keep secrets from God or Spirit or your divine source of life. You cannot keep secrets from your inner soul. It's almost the same as me trying to run away from my shadow. No matter how fast I can run, I could never run away from my shadow. So we can never run away from our secrets. So this is perhaps a time for you to reflect and go within and say, wow, as hard as this might be, as difficult as it might be for me, I owe it to my son, or I owe it to my daughter, to tell them what they've been wanting to know for such a long time, who their father is. Mind you, Spirit is never looking down on you, speaking down to you. Spirit is not judging you. Spirit wants you to set yourself free and give that child their identity back. Because this is the situation. If a child, is requesting to know, if your son, your daughter, whether they're 15 years old or they're 30, or is requesting to know who they come from, they have a right to know. Many of you have done it because perhaps you thought that you were saving them and you were protecting them, which it might be true when they were little kids. But now that they're young adults, or now that they're adults, they deserve to know who they come from, because they go around like a compass with no direction, trying to find that missing part, that missing link, trying to see what's that other half of their identity. Where does it belong to? Why do they think the way they think? Why do they act the way they act? Why do they feel the way they feel? And you're holding back information that can help them put these unanswered questions together, that can help them put these pieces to this puzzle together. So it is important for you to try to not make it about you, and allow that child to have their peace by knowing who they come from. And Spirit says, it is time for you to really sit down with your daughter. It is time for you to sit down with your son and, and tell them their history. You cannot deny your history. We can't deny our ancestry. We can't deny our history. And this is the time for you to be able to come forth with honesty. And perhaps this would also ease your inner spirit and open doors that have been blocked, because secrets, trust me, secrets blocks blessings in different ways. So you may be a good employee, you may be a good sibling, you may be a great mom. This is not about who you are as a mom. This is about what you are withholding from someone who is your child, who deserves to know who do they come from. And it might even be deeper, because at times your child may not know that you have not told them who their father is, because you may not even know who their father is. You might be someone that had, this child when you were very young, and you had a particular lifestyle that was very, toxic and chaotic and very, ill to your life, to your humanity, to your being. And you don't want to put all that out there. You don't want to have that conversation with your child. I don't know who your father is, because I can't tell you who your father is, because I don't know. Because during that time I was doing this, I was doing that, I was, had multiple partners, or I, just had addictions, and I don't know who it is. And that may very well be the truth, but that's a truth that they deserve to know. They don't deserve to hear from you, I don't want to tell you, or it's not important for you to know, or forget about that. Or, some of you omit. Some of you, have been lying about you not knowing who they are. Some of you just refuse to tell who they are. And this is the time for you to be honest with them and put all these cards on the table, so you can relieve that child from the misery that they've been living internally from not knowing who they come from. This goes so much deeper. And we can break this down in so many different levels, energetically and spiritually and emotionally. Because trauma is not just that which, we experience in the physical realm. Trauma is not just, being raped or being beat. Those are the most aggressive forms of trauma. But trauma is also to the spirit. There's trauma to the spirit. There's trauma to the mind. There's trauma to the emotions. I don't know who I come from. That's traumatic to one's inner spirit. That is traumatic to one's inner soul. So as a mom, as a caretaker, as a nurturer, you have the right, and the duty to help relieve and ease that anxiety, that spiritual, emotional, and energetic trauma that child has. Think about that for a minute, And also, in this quarantine time, this is my second part to this message today. Spirit has been speaking a lot about connecting with God or connecting with Spirit, Source, whatever it is for you. God, Jesus, Olofin, Olorum, Nsambi, Olodumare, whoever your God is, whoever your source of life is. This is a time to really connect with that source, right? So I already did a video about that. I'm not going to repeat myself. You can go back and watch that post on Sunday. But what I will add to that today is the following. Some of us are trying to make choices by ourselves. Some of us are trying to make choices on our own. And our choices should be guided by the divine. Our choices should be guided by God, whoever your God is. Our daily choices should be guided by your source of life. And, if your choices are just guided by you, if your choices are just guided by your own self, by your inconsistent self, if your choices is just guided by your conflicting self, if your choices is just guided by your misleading self, if your choices are just guided by your addicted self, if your choices is just guided by, the shame that you carry, if your choices is carried, by your inconsistent ways, if your choices are made through the part of you that's, volatile, that's arrogant, that's egocentric, if your choices are made through the part of you that's controlling, that's manipulative, that's, excessively always, such a skeptic about everything and everyone, if your choices is made by the complainer side of you, if your choices is made by the insecure you, if your choices is made by the hurt you, and by the bitter you, then you cannot come close and arrive at your blessings, because your choices are not being led and guided by the divine. They're not being led and guided by source. Your choices should be guided by source. This is why this is the time to go within. This is the time to sit by your altar. This is the time to pray. This is the time to meditate. This is the time to surrender. This is a time to uplift and elevate your energies to source, so that your source can help you make the best and right decisions for you, for your life, for your home, for your family, for your business, for your job, for your health, for your abundance in all aspects of your life. But you gotta surrender, and you have to elevate your decisions, your thoughts, your feelings, elevate it to your source. And that only comes through connecting. That only comes from finding safe space to connect with your divine energy and sit with them, so that you can really truthfully connect. The other part, very quickly, since I only have a 15-minute time limit, this is the thing. If you have lied to your children about who their parents were, who their other co-parent is, or about them, and have made them believe that their parent was the other father, or maybe you, dad, who's making your child believe that his mom or her mom is a bad person, is an evil person, is an ugly person. There's a saying in Spanish that says, "Entre cielo y tierra no hay nada oculto," which means between heaven and earth, there's nothing that you can keep secret forever. And they deserve to know that, though it was not your intention to hurt them, they deserve to know that mom or that dad is not that bad person that you portrayed them to be. That mother was not that person that you portrayed her to be, that father did not abandon them like you made them believe. Why don't you tell your son, your daughter the truth as to your father didn't necessarily abandon you. I made it impossible for him to be close to you. I made it impossible for him to reach you. I made it impossible for him to build a relationship with you. Put the truth out. The truth will set you free in many ways. I know that's maybe debatable for many of you. That's saying that the truth will set us free. It's debatable for many of you. Some of you really believe in your heart that if you really put all the truth out there, all hell will break loose and it's going to make things worse. And that's another topic. That's another conversation. But the point right here, right now, today, on Tuesday, Spirit's message is reflect on your actions. Reflect on your past choices. Reflect on the lies that you have said. I know, and I am not saying, and Spirit is not telling me to tell you that the choices that you've made and the lies that you said were with an intention to hurt, to deceive, or to commit sin, or to, dishonor anyone. Sometimes, people, especially parents, have told lies to their children, and because in their mind they sincerely feel that they, were protecting them, right? Keeping them safe. But this is the moment to rectify. This is the moment to clarify. This is the moment to make things right. Take this quarantine life to make things right. Take this retreat to make things right. To put the cards on the table. To bring some skeletons out of the closet so you can put those dead energies to rest, and that you can bring life back to your child. It's much needed. You're so afraid of being criticized. You're so afraid of creating distance. You're so afraid of saying the truth because you feel that the truth will isolate you. You feel that the truth will, make that child dislike you, hate you, that son, that daughter. If you just tell the truth, and if you just be honest as to how this truth came about to be, and why is it that lie back way then was a lie, and why did you do it, and what took you down that route, they will understand. They will understand. What they don't understand is that you don't want to acknowledge what they emotionally need. What they don't understand is that you don't want to acknowledge the emptiness that they feel inside by you not sharing with them such an important, vital part of their history. It is so important. And let me tell you something about healing. This quarantine life that we've been forced into is a great time for healing. It's a great time to heal old wounds. And the first step to healing is acknowledgement. The first step to healing is acknowledgement. So you have to acknowledge that there's an issue. When we acknowledge that there's an issue, then we are forced, we allow ourselves to address that issue. When we address that issue, we allow ourselves to feel it. When we feel it and process it, we heal it. But it starts with acknowledgement. So I ask you, my spiritual warriors, if this fits to you, if this fits to your life, if this fits to your history, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do as of right this moment, as of today, to put those dead skeletons to rest? What are you willing to do to help your child heal? What are you willing to do to allow yourself to reconnect with your child by letting them know that the lies that you told them about their mom or about their dad was not true, and you did it not because you wanted to hurt them, because you were angry, you were hurt by what that other parent did to you. Your feelings This is what I want to be made clear. Your feelings are validated. You have a right to feel hurt by what that parent did. But you don't have the right to hurt that person by using their child against them. Some of you are guilty of having placed your child against their other parent because you were so hurt. This is the time to address that. This is the time to bring that truth up. Let it rise. Let that truth rise. Put those cards on the table and have that conversation with your daughter, because little do you know that because you said that lie to your daughter about her father, she has been missing such a big piece of her. And I'm not talking about the mother or the parent that has denied, knowledge to their daughter or son about their whereabouts or about who their father really is. That was another subject. This subject is about you telling your daughter that, the way I allowed you to think that your father was a bad person, that your father abandoned you, that your father was a bad man. That wasn't true. And I did that because your father did something to me that hurt me. And it hurt me so deeply that I chose at that moment through anger, through pain, I chose to pull you away from him. I didn't believe that he deserved you based on what he did to me. Today, as an adult, as an older adult, I recognize that I was wrong. I recognize that I was right to feel hurt over what he did to me, but I recognize that I was wrong in interfering with your relationship with your father. Or vice versa. Men do it too. I was wrong for interfering with your relationship with your mother. I was wrong for making you believe that your mother was X, Y, and Z and this and this and that. Let's stop the cycle of pain. That's what Spirit is telling me to tell you. Let's stop that cycle of pain. Because if not, we can't grow. If we don't nip it in the butt, if we don't kill the pain, we can't grow. Pain is a blessing blocker. It will hold you captive. It will enslave you if you don't set yourself free from the lies that came about from that pain, from the lies that came about from that anger, from the lies that came about from all the things that you said through pain and anger and hurt. This is the moment, my beloved spiritual warriors. This is the moment to do that. I pray for you. I pray for peace. I pray for you to find a resolution that will help you allow this deep-rooted secrets rise to the top so that we can address them and we can heal. But first you have to acknowledge. If you don't acknowledge, there's no healing. There's no healing. And the cycle continues. Because what you are taking away, or what you have taken away from your child, inadvertently, and more often than not, unintentionally, that child eventually will have their own shortcomings with their children because of what they were not able to receive. So give them what they deserve. Give them what they need, so that you can help them become a better person for their children, if they have them already, or for their children to come in their life. This is the moment. This is the time. And keeping the secret, holding on to the secret, what it only does is consume you inside. It consumes you inside. Many blessings to you. Peace.